Hey Facebook, Kate from Persistence Pays here tonight on a beautiful Wednesday, and tonight I'm going to share with you my top 5 tips for weight loss and for turning your life around. So while I wait for a few people to come on, I'm just going to share the reason why I wanted to share this tonight, because it's something that a lot of people struggle with, and it's something that I think it will be able to assist a lot of people. So as most of you are probably aware, I'm an online weight loss coach, and I became an online weight loss coach after going through a pretty significant weight loss journey myself. So I speak with a lot of women day in and day out who message me on social media. Hello beautiful Monique Roche. I speak with a lot of women about their weight struggles, about body image, about self-confidence, about essentially anything weight and image related. And what one woman said to me the other day really, I guess, impacted me, only because, one, I used to feel the same way myself, and two, it's not uncommon for people to feel that way. So what she said was, all I think about is my weight, how unhappy I am, and how I want to hide myself. Now that's not an uncommon feeling, whether you're overweight or not, but obviously I'm speaking from a person from an overweight perspective. So feeling like that is not living life. You're literally just existing as a human and not living life on your terms, or even living life to the best possible capability that you're able to. We only have one shot on this planet, so in my opinion we need to be able to live that life to the best possible, hey Steve or Rebel, we need to be able to live that life to the best possible capability that we're able to. So that's why I wanted to share this tonight. That's just one example of what people share with me about how they view themselves or how they perceive themselves within the world. So that's what brought about this video, and so I just wanted to share, because I knew it would be useful for a lot of people, my top 5 tips for weight loss and for turning your life around. So before I guess, share those 5 tips, if you're a friend of mine on Facebook, you're either like a long-lasting friend, or I've met you somewhere, or you've heard me speak at a seminar, or you've added me because of social media. But for those of you who aren't aware, just a few years ago I was a completely different human being. I was 135 kilos, or 290 pounds if there's any Americans on. I was 20 years old, I was at university, I didn't like who I was. I knew I was capable of living a different life, but I didn't know how to begin. I didn't know how to begin my weight loss journey, or I didn't know how to get out of that slump of really disliking who I was. So I hit rock bottom. I hit a place where I didn't really want to be here anymore. I hit a place that was really horrible. Every day was like a living nightmare, because I was exhausting myself being this super confident, happy-go-lucky, positive exterior, yet what was going on internally was completely different. And so each and every day was a struggle. It was like a struggle being me, because who I was personifying wasn't who was inside. And so there was this consistent battle and conflict between the persona and the person that I actually wanted to be, and the person that I actually was. And so I hit rock bottom, and I had what I call my wake up moment. So I woke up one morning, and as you do, you get up, which is it's always a good day when you wake up. And normally I would have just like looked in the mirror, done my makeup, had a this is as good as it's always going to get kind of attitude, because I didn't like my reflection. So I looked at myself as little as possible, but I always had to look to make sure I was getting my makeup right. And instead of just looking at myself, I actually took in what was staring back at me. And that girl, that 20-year-old girl, was so sad and lonely and frustrated and disappointed, and I just decided that one morning that enough was enough. I was literally at rock bottom and I couldn't go any further down, so I just decided that it was time to make a change. So I got in touch with a coach, and essentially that's where my journey began. So from there, it hasn't been all smooth sailing. I went to the States for 8 months and put on 18 of the 20 kilos that I'd lost, and I've had unintentional bulk periods over that time. But overall, I've known that living a healthy lifestyle is the lifestyle that I wanted to live, and that my health was really important to me. And despite some minor hiccups and some minor setbacks, I've always jumped back on that horse, back on that bandwagon, and made sure that progressing on or progressing forward was the thing that I would always come back to. So in the past 4 or 5 years of my weight loss journey, I've learnt a lot. I've done a lot of personal development. I've done a lot of research and reading, and I've had coaches, and I've learned a lot about weight loss, and I've learned a lot about nutrition, about mindset. And as such, I wanted to share with you, as the title of the video says, my top 5 tips for weight loss, or for turning your life around. Hello, Alan McEwen. So tip number 1 is to get real with yourself. So this is not something that people like to hear, but there's a reason that you're overweight. For me, I have a number of reasons. I was always an overweight child, and then I contracted Ross River fever, so I was bedridden for about 8 months. I put on a lot of weight there. Then my self-worth started to depreciate, because at 16 years old I was the biggest kid at school, and struggled to run 100 metres, and struggled to walk up a set of stairs, and struggled to be a 16-year-old. And then throughout high school, I continued to create a reputation for myself as the funny fat kid, and I hid behind the persona of this super confident, funny kid, and I manipulated my personality to fit in with different groups just so that I could be liked, so that I wasn't bullied. I've never not had a lot of friends, but I maybe haven't always been 100% myself either. So yeah, over time I then started going through different mental struggles and stuff, and I struggled with my own self-worth, and as such, the only thing that I could control was my emotions, and the way that I dealt with my emotions was comfort food. And when I went out partying, or when I went out into a social setting, the only way I felt comfortable and confident was liquid courage. And we all know the old calories in the liquid courage don't do you very well, and they especially don't do you very well when you're drinking 4 nights a week and living your best life partying at uni. So in the end, my weight issues were because of my self-worth. I never felt good enough. I never felt like I was going to be smart enough, good enough at sport. I never felt good enough. It's as simple as that. So I had a very low self-worth, and resultantly my self-esteem and my confidence and everything just went to shit. A couple of my clients, their reasons, some people have really hard upbringings. Some people's self-worth is based upon how they've been treated growing up. So, anonymous, but some of my clients had been sexually abused. Some of them had been treated in ways I wouldn't even like to imagine. And as such, again, self-worth depreciates, comfort food comes on, the only thing you can control is that. And then, as an overweight person, you look at yourself and you're like, you start speaking really negatively to yourself, and it's all just this compounding process. So, number 1 is get real with yourself. Why are you overweight? Sit down with a journal and start writing all of the things that have impacted you from 0 to however old you are now, because I can guarantee that that things will come up that you didn't even realise had impact upon you and your weight gain. So you can't move forward until you deal with those blocks and those barriers and the reason that you're actually overweight. So number 1 is get real with yourself, and it's probably the hardest one that I'm going to suggest to you. Number 2 is drop the quick fix mentality. So it's so common in our day and age that we want everything and we want it now. We're so outcome focused, but we need to become more process driven. So we say, you know, I want to lose 10 kilos, that's the outcome, but I don't want to do the work to get there, so I'm going to go on the latest fad diet. I'm going to, you know, do what Kim Kardashian did. I don't even know if she's, whatever she does, but I'm going to do the latest thing that I see in the magazine to drop 10 kilos, and there we go. But the issue with that is it's not sustainable. And so you become, you get into this cyclical process of lose weight, gain weight, restrict, binge, because you don't find a sustainable process, and you don't think about it as a lifestyle. You think about it as a diet, and you join the quick fix mentality, and that will honestly get you nowhere. So you need to drop the quick fix mentality, because that is one of the biggest issues, I believe, as to why Australia is so overweight or obese on a whole. Number 3 is just begin. So many of us overcomplicate the processes of weight loss. We get overwhelmed and we get confused because there are so many different things that we can try. But the thing is, the reason diets work is because we're in a calorie deficit. So whatever you choose to follow, make sure that it is a sustainable process that you can follow for a long period of time, because otherwise you'll get into that restrict binge cycle. So I have a client who was eating KFC every day for lunch, and all we've done is remove that one meal, a KFC meal, and change it for a salad sandwich. And resultantly, she lost 5 kilos in the first week of working together just by making that one change, nothing else. So all you have to do is just begin. Start by choosing healthier alternatives for all of your meals, and start by just moving a little bit each day. So whether that's, you know, walking to the shops instead of driving, or getting off the bus one stop sooner before and after work, or taking the stairs instead of the lift, or walking to pick your kids up from school instead of driving. There's so many different ways that you can implement incidental exercise, and as such just get moving more throughout your day. If you're at work, if you sit on your bum all day at work, make sure you get up every half to 1 hour and just go to the bathroom, or just continue moving throughout the day, just to slightly increase that calorie burn throughout the day. All you've got to do is just start, and once you start and then you start seeing results, things will, like, the ripple effect starts, and then you'll actually want to get into how you properly commit to a weight loss journey. Number 4 is imperative. So number 4 is to develop a strong why. If you don't develop a strong why, your motivation for your weight loss journey is only going to last so long. So why is it that you want to commit to a weight loss journey? This is something that I go deep with my clients, because that's what's going to get you out of bed when you don't want to get out of bed in the morning. And that's what's going to make you continue on with your weight loss journey when you're really struggling to do so. So you need to develop a strong why, because like I said, that's what's going to keep you pushing when everything gets really, really hard. So my why was initially because I didn't want to be fighting these double personas. I didn't want to be in that rock bottom place anymore, and I was running away from a really negative place. I no longer wanted to be that unhappy that I didn't want to be here anymore. I no longer wanted to be, you know, living this fake persona and living a life that wasn't true, or wasn't wasn't something that I could replicate internally. So that was my why. My why over time has changed. It's now gone from running from a really negative space to being propelled by a really positive force, wanting to live the best possible life that I'm capable of. But that's just me, and there's a lot more to go into it. But one of my clients' whys is probably, well, you know, it's one of the strongest ones that I've ever heard. She desperately wanted to be a policewoman, and she couldn't pass the fitness test because she was too overweight and she wasn't fit enough. So her career aspiration, she couldn't follow through with because of her weight. So she came on board with me, and she's now just applied to the police force. She's got her medical very soon. She's going to absolutely kill the fitness test because she's been working on herself and on her fitness and on her weight loss for the last 8 months. That's what it takes. But what got her out of bed every single morning was the fact that she so desperately wanted to be a policewoman that she was going to do everything in her power to make that happen. And she has. And I'm so excited to go to her graduation when she finally becomes part of the academy. But developing a strong why is imperative to turn your life around. Whether it's weight loss or whether it's something, you know, in business or whatever it is, developing a strong why is imperative for life. So my last and final one is to hire a coach. Now, I truly put the start of my journey and, in fact, staying on track for the majority of the past 4 or 5 years down to having a coach. I still have a coach today because I believe that everyone needs a coach, whether you're at the end or whether you're not. Coaches provide you with accountability, so they keep you on track for your goals. At the start, I know that I believe in my girls that they can achieve what they want to achieve more than they do at the time, and I love being able to show them that they can believe in themselves over time. So coaches provide you with accountability. They support you when you really need support, because sometimes you don't have that support in your immediate environment. Sometimes your family aren't supportive, your friends aren't supportive, your partner's not supportive, or your work colleagues aren't supportive. Whoever it is that's in your network, if they're not supportive, they suck. But it's very common that they're not going to be supportive of your health journey, especially if they know that they need to do something as well. So coaches provide you with support as well, and accountability when you need it. Already spoken about accountability. Motivation. So motivation needs to come from intrinsically, and that's where developing a strong why is so imperative. But when you do need a slight kick up the bum, a little bit of a push, a little bit of a reality check, a coach can provide you with that motivation when you can't provide it for yourself. So those are my top 5 tips for weight loss and for getting your life back on track. I'll just read through them again. Get real with yourself. So work out the reason, or, seriously delve into the reason as to why you're overweight. Drop the quick fix mentality. Just begin. Develop a strong why, and hire a coach. Now, these 5 things, if you implement them, you'll see a major shift in your life, because you can actually start focusing on what's important. You can start to realize that we only have one shot at this life, and how important it is to live the healthiest, happiest life, because if we're not here tomorrow, we need to know that we've lived a life that we're proud of. So I'd encourage you all to implement those 5 things into your life. And if you're struggling with weight loss, with body image, with confidence, self-esteem, anything along those lines, please just send me a message on Facebook, because I would happily help you out with anything that you're struggling with. I know what it's like to be in that rock bottom place. I know what it's like to not want to be here anymore. I know what it's like to live a life that doesn't fulfill you and doesn't make you happy. And I've now made it my life mission to help women get out of that place and to start living the best, most passionate, happiest and healthiest life that they're capable of. So if you ever need help with anything, please, please, please send me through a direct message on Facebook, and I will happily assist you with anything that you need. So, yeah, thank you so much to everyone who came on tonight. I really appreciate your time. I'm really grateful for all of you. And I know that a few people commented whilst I was speaking, but I was trying to stay on track, so I'll get back to you all. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. I look forward to hearing from anyone. If you ever have any questions or comments, or just want to have a chat, I'm here for you guys always. So, alright, catch you. Thanks, Mon. Love you. I will catch you soon, guys.